going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful Thursday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. I'm wearing the glasses. That's right. Very, very stylish, very chic. Very grandma-esque. Is that you? Some of that's fantastic for the Vikings is first-round pick Donovan Jackson. Ooh, he is for real. So the Vikings have released a couple videos of Donovan Jackson getting to know the facilities as well as U.S. Bank Stadium. This is great. So the parents were blown away by U.S. Bank Stadium. This is home. This works. This totally works. Donovan Jackson's fired up too. And here's what's great. So Jackson played at the Ohio State University. So he played at the Shoe. More importantly, he played at the Big House up in Ann Arbor. And the parents were still impressed and blown away, right? And, of course, national title game, playoff run, all that stuff. But when it's literally your stadium, that's great, man. It's fantastic, right? And also Pop's talk about playing 10-plus years. That was really good to go. So, yeah, absolutely love to see that. Plus, we mentioned this during the draft where not only is it one of the most important days of the player's life, it's a culmination of all of his dreams, all of his hard work coming true. It's a family as well. It's a family, getting the kid to Pop Warner football. It was the kid making travel arrangements, going to all his college football games, making sure that they're good to go. And it's everyone's dreams coming true at the same time. It's fantastic to see. Hopefully, Donovan Jackson will be developing into a Pro Bowl, All-Pro god for the Vikings for the next 10-plus years. Absolutely love to see that, man. Also, so this is making the rounds yesterday. Pelissero was on the Ross Tucker podcast talking about Daniel Jones this offseason. Quote, it sounded like the Vikings thought Daniel Jones was coming back. He ended up taking a little bit less in terms of guaranteed money from the Colts. Now, there's a couple things here. Number one, obviously, JJ is the guy. Daniel Jones isn't stupid, and he saw that, right? And going to Indianapolis, competing with Anthony Richardson, more of a toss-up, 50-50 competition, right? But also, apparently the Vikings offered more guaranteed money than the Colts. So the Colts gave him a one-year, $14 million guarantee, $14 million deal, which is nearly all guaranteed, $13 million plus guaranteed. So the Vikings offered more than that as a guy who clearly was going to be quarterback too. I don't know. But it would make sense that this was plan A. Let Darnold go, let Mullins go, Daniel Jones run it back. You did some work with him last year. And then after that didn't pan out, could make sense why the Vikings waited until the draft to pick up a guy like Sam Howell, which at the end of the day, I'm more happy that the Vikings have Sam Howell versus Vanilla Vic because, Jones would have been great, but Jones, $13 million guaranteed, as well as costing you the fifth-round comp pick versus Sam Howell at $1.1 million. I'll go with Howell. Plus, I feel like even though Howell has some bad habits, I feel like they would be easier to break than Daniel Jones, who's pretty far along in his career at this point. So it happens. Also, big story of the day yesterday was George Pickens getting traded from the Steelers, where I don't know why Rodgers would ever go to the Steelers. They got DK, but they didn't draft a receiver. They traded Pickens for basically nothing, third-round pick and a day 3 pick swap, and it's just a mess, right? But of course, everyone and their mom was coming out. Oh, is this now the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League? You have CeeDee Lamb as well as George Pickens. No, it's not even close, right? So the top wide receiver duos in the league: Jefferson Addison, Jefferson Naylor, Jefferson Felton, Jefferson Rondale Moore, Jefferson, as well as Randy Moss's kid, Montego. Baby, why don't we go? Getting a UDFA trial this weekend at TCO. Jefferson and me. That's right. Hey, I was a slot receiver in high school on a team that ran out of a pro set and did not like to throw the ball, but it happens. Also, Jefferson Chubbs Peterson, and then Jefferson and Troy Williamson. Best duos. It's not even close. It's the flavor of the moment. It's the Cowboys, and also the media just loves George Pickens for whatever reason, just because he's interesting and fights downfield all the time. I don't know, man. Big time respect to CD, but this ain't it. Something is it. So I love what the Vikings are doing now because they're releasing these mini documentaries about players that we know and love. And the first one up is Jumpin' Joe Webb, the pride of UAB Blazer, day 3 pick from back in the day. Was he a quarterback? Was he a receiver? Was he a whatever? It didn't work out. But I did have beef with the fact that that Childress flip-flop back and forth with Joe Webb. He's a quarterback. No, he's a receiver. He's a quarterback. He's a receiver. I think if they would have just picked one, he would have had a better career. And Webb ended up with the Panthers for a little bit too, mainly as a receiver. But if they would have just gone quarterback, worked with him on that, good to go. Receiver, if they just said 100% your receiver, I think that he could have developed into something. But the whole snap wasn't good to go. Also, so I bit my tongue probably about a week ago. And if you ever just talk after you bit your tongue, and then occasionally you just catch yourself right, and it's just like, just cut off the tongue. There. Anyways, but Joe Webb, quarterback, receiver, returner. Joe Webb has always done whatever it takes to help everyone else around him. That's because the coaching staff couldn't make up their damn minds. That mindset has translated as he took over as head coach in his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, ahead of the 2024 season. And I always loved Joe Webb, man. But I would have preferred if they would have kept Joe Webb at quarterback and he and Christian Ponder dueling things out. Now, after Ponder had that bruise in 2012, missed the playoff game against Green Bay up in Lambeau, I remember because it was the Sunday Night Football crew, and Tony Dungy predicted that the Vikings would win, and then we got shellacked. Dungy predicted the Vikings would win because of a mobile quarterback, and the Packers didn't really have time to prepare for Webb. But it didn't work out. But I'm happy for Joe Webb. Glad that he found his life's work in influencing young men and players, and it's good, man. It's good. It's always tough when players, they got their dream, and then all of a sudden it's ripped away. What do? And that happens a lot. Or people who have committed their lives to a job or a profession. You look at military, you look at law enforcement, you look at firefighters, you look at anyone who has just went all in on a profession, then all of a sudden it's taken away. What do? Right? So I'm glad that he found his next thing, because a lot of people don't, and it causes problems. So there you go. I love Joe Webb, man. He's fantastic. Also fantastic is Ryan Kelly coming in from the Colts, replacing Garrett Bradbury at the pivot position. Now, Kelly said this basically right after the Vikings signed him. We didn't cover it, but it's just so true. It's just so true, and I love him for saying this. So Ryan Kelly, talking with Vikings.com. On offense, you have to run the ball. You have to protect well, Kelly said. It's not always about the receivers, right? Like, if the quarterback doesn't have time, who cares, right? In Indy, we always had the saying, as O-line goes, the offense goes. I think, well, why didn't you protect Andrew Luck better, and then maybe he wouldn't have retired early? I think that was, Kelly did. Everyone else did not. Yeah. I think that was always in the back of our mind when we went to a game, was no matter what happens, it's on us, and that's a burden that the offensive line carries, right? We're sometimes the first people to take the criticism, last people to get the praise, right? That's what you sign up for. That's why the offensive line is so tightly knit. So speaking for an offensive line perspective, that's what makes us who we are, and that's the mentality we'll bring this year. And he's absolutely right. Everyone likes points. Everyone likes the offense to do well. Everyone likes this, that, and the other thing, and all the skill positions. But the guys up front dictate everything. If you can't run block, your star running back is not going to get loose. If you can't protect the quarterback, his ass is going to get shelled. Confidence is going to go. Can't get the ball to the playmakers. So it's basically exactly what Jim Harbaugh said. Like, the offensive line affects every other facet of the team, not just the offense, but also the defense. Hey, you want to get rested in the second half? Well, it's on the offensive line to put together an 8-minute, 14-play drive so the defense can rest. It's important, man. So I think that Kelly has a great perspective on things. I think he's got some great ball left in him still. Will Fries, obviously, his running mate, is going to be great at right guard. Donovan Jackson, left guard. I still am in awe. Like, we've been waiting for a complete gutting of the interior offensive line, going back to the Spielman era. It just never happened, right? But I'm really happy with where the O-line is right now. Also right now, protecting J.J. McCarthy is going to be paramount. So this is fun. Harrison Phillips, talk about stuff and things. Vikes fan page, just 2 days after tearing his meniscus last year, Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy asked Harrison Phillips what day of the week he's free so they can meet and pick his brain on film and D-line looks. This went on for the whole season while he rehabbed back from the injury. And that's awesome, man. And it's something that the veterans and the coaches talked about with J.J. McCarthy, as well as Diamond Dallas Turner, where they just bug the bejesus out of veterans. Hey, what does this look? What does this mean? What is this? Blah, blah, blah. Same thing with coaches. And obviously with J.J. McCarthy, it's pretty evident. McCown has talked about it. Wes Phillips talked about it. Udinsky was basically McCarthy's shadow after he got back into the swing of things after his knee surgery. And for Turner, he was always right next to Mike Pettin. So Pettin was coaching the outside linebackers last year on top of being assistant head coach. And if you saw in training camp, if you find any video or stills from it, wherever Pettin is, Diamond Dallas Turner is, if he's not out there on the practice field, because he wants to know about everything. And that's what I love about McCarthy too, where maybe some quarterbacks do this because it just looks good. It's good PR, right? But some others do it just because they want to get better. And McCarthy is definitely the latter in this spot. So I love that J.J. McCarthy's out here. Also, Flores talked to too. McCarthy would bug the bejesus out of Flores in terms of the creative looks that Flores dishes out. It's kind of fun, man. Lastly, so I know that we talked extensively about the Browns yesterday, but we have to do this one again because the Browns did Kenny Pickett so dirty here. So maybe this is just residual effects of him being a former first-round pick by the Steelers, which, by the way, the only reason Kenny Pickett was a first-round pick is because Jordan Addison made him look like a stud, except he's not. Jordan Addison, Biletnikoff winner as a true sophomore at the University of Pittsburgh. Woo! Love to see that, man. But the knock against Kenny Pickett is that he had small hands, smells like cabbage. One of the few quarterbacks in the league who wears two gloves, aside from Hey Teddy. But this is bad. This looks photoshopped, except it's not. And Flacco has decent sized hands. Flacco has 9 and 5/8, I think, and hat. No, 9 and 5/8 hands. And Pickett just looks. I don't even know what that is. Also the misnomer is that Dante had small hands. He didn't really, just had a fumbling issue. But with Pickett's mitts, I don't know. You think of a nut low division for Kenny Pickett to be in because of cold weather, the AFC North would be it because all the teams play outdoors. I mean, at least in the NFC North, you have the Vikings, Lions playing indoors, but I digress. That's just funny to me. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts of Vikings news done for this beautiful, wonderful Thursday. You guys are the best to do. Skol, production value.